Hey guys! Wrong time no see. It's been wrong time, my boy. But, you guys, I'm freaking low-key a little bit back. Finals was low-key whooping my ass, so I was, underground a bit. And, I mean, yeah, just getting my ass whooped and literally handed to me. So I've been taking a break from the gym too. But guess what? We're so freaking back. I am low-key on my period, but I feel like when I'm on my period, I lift pretty fucking heavy. So I'm going to this is gonna be my first time recording my glute workout. And I feel like I got some good glute progression when it comes to when I first started, which was about 3 dang years ago, to now. I'm standing at a good 160 pounds. You could definitely tell that I gained weight. But it looks good. You know, majority of it is muscle. But I honestly, my best peak physique was probably 145. That was a good weight for me. 120, 130 was chill. It was pretty lean, not much muscle, but there was some. And honestly, my proportions it's the same, but not really. Like, I feel like my glutes are a little bit bigger, and leg muscles are just more defined and shaped up, and I'm more, I'm able to carry my weight more. So yeah, we're hitting glutes today. You guys are gonna see that. And I'm also getting rid of some books. Oh, and also, we're using some pre-workout today. We're not just fueled by self-hate. We're fueled by some drink. I'm gonna be trying my Oxy Shred. I've used it before and it gave me really good results. And I'm also mixing it with my HCL creatine. And I love my HCL creatine because it doesn't make me feel or look bloated because of water retention. So that's a whole thing right there in that little bottle. And also water. Usually I take my balloon pre-workout, but that makes me go gnarly and I'm not trying to go too crazy, so I'm just using the Oxy Shred. So let's see the results after today. Okay, so we're going into starting with our compound lifts, which is very important when it comes to how you build your glute workout days. You have to start with your really compound lifts first, where you're hitting a lot of muscle groups at the same time. Preferably big glute workouts, like some would say squats, some would say RDLs, some would say hip thrusts. So just start with any one of those, compound lifts. And then save the isolation workouts for later. So I'm starting with some RDLs. I'm starting with 25, so that's super light, guys. And, you don't always have to be on the barbell for this. I also like going back and forth between dumbbells. I feel like I'm able to go so much more heavier when it comes to dumbbells. And this one doesn't give me much, area, space to really move. It's kind of constrained. And then I'm just going up with my weight as I progress with each set. That's called a progressive overload. That's going to be like the biggest factor you want to keep in mind of throughout your lifting journey is progressive overload, which is where you're just adding weight consistently. And yeah, that'll really help grow your fucking muscles, all right? It'll grow your muscles. And honestly, when I do this, I just make sure I do sets of 3. The first 2 sets are usually going to be till like 8, 10 reps. I like to do till failure, but just try to do what you can with the weight that you're trying to use. But also make sure you're doing it with the right form as well. And then I'm going into my hip thrust, which is my second compound lift. These ones I love to go load really heavy with. This really gets your glutes, guys. It gets your glutes going. I'd say that hip thrusts are probably the most pumping for my glutes. It gives you a little satisfaction for a little bit. But yeah, just keep doing this for a lot of your glute workouts. And make sure you're going up, because if you're staying at a kind of low weight, and you're staying at the same number of reps and sets, you're not really challenging your muscle groups to grow. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And people be like, oh, you don't have to go so heavy for your glutes or your leg days. I guess that's true in a way, but the way I split my week is I do 2 upper body and 2 leg days. So best believe I'm going to be fucking putting 3 plates on that bitch. Alright? I like to do that. And it's also like, you'll see the muscle come in the higher the numbers go. And people just love to shit on that, like, oh, you're just ego lifting. It's not doing anything. It's actually strengthening your muscles, forcing it to grow because of how you're breaking it down and how it rebuilds itself, basically. But yeah, just keep loading yourself, guys. Stop, don't get comfortable, because if you get comfortable, you're not going to see any change. No cap. I also want to preface the importance of your form when it comes to any of these workouts. Yeah, I said you want to go heavy, but fuck that right now. If you guys are just starting, start at a lightweight. Start by just learning the form. And it's not that you're learning from really how another person exactly does it. Just learn from how your body responds to what movements target the muscle you're aiming for the most. Because I watched all these videos as much as I could on TikTok regarding form, and some of them gave really good tips. However, me personally, I was watching videos on how to do RDLs and it just didn't help. I always felt it in my back when I would listen to some creators telling me how to do it, and I noticed that these were not the same build as me. And I know I'm not that fucking tall, but a little bit on the taller side, meaning the way I carry weight is definitely going to be different than someone who's on the shorter side. It's very important to learn how you yourself are able to hit your own and isolate your own glutes muscles. So just get familiar with your body. All right, so we're starting with our isolation workouts. This one I don't think I would recommend for it to always be in your glute regimen, but this is a Bulgarian split squat. This one's a really give or take workout. I like to go heavy with these. However, I know if you go lighter, you will be able to isolate the glutes more. But since I go heavier, I know I'm going to be hitting the entirety of my leg. So some would debate that this is more of a, what's it called? It's the word, fuck. I debate otherwise. I like doing it because it builds my whole leg, and I notice almost the quickest leg growth when it comes to these workouts, or specifically the Bulgarian split squats. These ones really grew my whole leg. When I mean leg, I'm literally talking about my quad and my hamstrings and my lower glute. But I definitely do recommend going lower if you do focus on just isolating the glute. But yeah, just go really slow and controlled with these. If not these, then do some step ups to really isolate the glutes. So I'm kind of jumbled up right now. I did do my back extensions first before my other isolating workout. But this one's pretty cool. It's pretty killer as well. But I know I was doing it when I first did it as a back workout, which it can be if you do it in that manner. But when I do it this way, I'm hitting my upper glutes because I'm flexing and making sure I isolate my glutes so hard that my body has no other choice but to use the glute muscle to move me. So that's basically what this is. It may feel silly, but golly, this shit will get your ass pumped. I swear. And, it's just gonna look so big and juicy. Who wouldn't want a good leg pump? Look at that. You can see it. You can see some glute you can see some glute pushing through that, bro. If you want to load yourself with a plate, that works too. I would say just make sure you really brace your core when you do these, but also don't focus on your back muscles. You want to focus on those glutes in your legs. That's all you want to work on. And then lastly, I'm moving into my last isolating workout. And you guys are probably like, damn, bitch, that was like only a few workouts. That's literally all you need. You need a few workouts, but high weights, okay? I'll tell you that right now, all right? You don't need fucking 17 million workouts in one day. That's crazy. It's absurd. So these are the hip abductors. These are amazing. It's either these or cable kickbacks. So choose one. Make sure you're hitting your glutes. I know some people get like sciatica and back problems from this. Just make sure you do this right, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my glute workout. But yeah, guys, if you know me, just DM me if you have any questions. But this should help you guys if you guys have been asking for like my workouts and stuff, and it's really helpful and stuff. Bye.